Hey guys, it's Lance at Mac Sound Solutions, and today is retro upgrade day, and I'm going to upgrade my Mac Pro 6,1 and my Mac Pro 5,1 in real time, so it's going to be a little lengthy, this video. Think of it as a live stream, but it's not live. I'm fighting a cold, so I'm sorry about my nasal voice. But yeah, there's a new version of Opencore Legacy Patcher 2.3.2 and Mac OS, which keeps coming out with security updates 15.4.1. So we're going to upgrade the Mac Pro 6,1 first, and that's what we're looking at here. As soon as I booted it up, Opencore Legacy Patcher let me know that there was a new version available. So we're just going to hit download and install. And they have some fixes for older Macs with non-metal graphics cards. I think they fixed a major issue with that. But of course, the Mac Pro 6,1 supports metal. And I'm using a wired old Apple mouse and this Apple extended keyboard. You got to use a USB 2.0 hub or greater, or you got to use this keyboard or one like it that's USB 2. The original one that ships with the old Mac Pros, I don't know what actually shipped with the trash can, but the old Mac Pro keyboard will not work because it's USB 1.1 and you'll lose being able to use it during the upgrade. Don't upgrade with Bluetooth peripherals. You want to be hardwired, and I'm not using Wi-Fi either. I'm using Ethernet. Of course, your Mac OS download is going to be faster that way, and you could lose Wi-Fi in the middle of the upgrade during the patching process. So best to be hardwired. Once the files are downloaded, you're then just upgrading, but then you have to do the post-patch. The other thing is the graphics KDK package. That needs to get installed sort of after the whole process. It'll get downloaded, but it gets installed once the Mac OS is installed. So you might have laggy graphics at first, and then you just gotta reinstall your post patches at the end. We'll go through it. I'm sure it's going to show us that the KDK package will have to download. And I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to try and keep everything on screen that's important, but I'm going to fast forward. So we're installing our update. Update is complete. Okay, so it updated the application Opencore Legacy Patcher. Now we need to install Opencore Legacy Patcher. Would you like to update Opencore and your root volume patches? Yes. So we're going to do that. It just rebuilt it, our EFI. We're going to install that to disk. And yes, we're going to put it on our internal drive. And you'll probably see it mount the EFI really quick. There it is up over there. Our EFI is mounted. Opencore has finished installing the disk. Would you like to update your root patches? Yes, we would. So we'll update our root patches. Available patches, graphics AMD, network modem, wireless. So that's going to update the Wi-Fi patch and the graphics, and there it is. The KDK is already installed, so it's skipping it. So what's going to happen is once we get installing the new version of Mac OS, a new KDK package will download, and then we will install that after Mac OS is completed installing. So we'll just let it go, do its thing. And you know, I've been keeping these old Macs going. They still work pretty well. There it is. There's the old trash can. Okay, we're gonna reboot. And I also have Windows 11 installed on this computer because I like to do a little retro gaming. You know, the old Mac Pro, the trash can, I've got the D500s in it. It still works for playing some older games, you know, so it's kind of cool to have your retro gaming library on the old machine. So here we go. We're booting into the same Mac OS. We haven't updated Mac OS yet. We've just updated our Opencore. I'm going to need to get a coffee in a minute, but we'll start the download of the Mac OS first. Nice to have a nice cold. My daughter gets sick. She coughs in my face, and then I get it. Every time. It's been endless the past. I don't know if my immune system sucks, but man, I have had more colds in the past 6 years than I have had in my entire life. All right, we're up and running with Opencore, and they're loading. Stuff just takes some time, and let's just go look here about this Mac 15.3.2 we're on. So yeah, I'm on 15.3.2, so this is going to be quite the upgrade because we're going to 15.4.2. And we're going to go to software update. Now we're at 15.4.1. Yeah, update, agree. And I'm getting a nice 82 megabytes per second. Not bad. Opencore Legacy Patcher has detected that Mac OS is being downloaded. The patcher needs to prepare the system for the update. Let's say OK, and there it is. It sees that there's a new version, right? So we updated Opencore before, but we were not. Sorry, I'm getting phone notifications. But we were not updating Mac OS yet. So now that it sees there's a new Mac OS, it is now installing a new version of the KDK. And it's not installing it, it's just downloading it. So it will install it after Mac OS is updated. So after we reboot into the new Mac OS, Opencore Legacy Patcher will pop up and say, hey, you got to patch your patches again, and it'll install the KDK package that it's downloading at the moment. I should have just live streamed this, but I'm still a little nervous with live streaming. So we will try that again sometime in the future. 4 minutes, 3 minutes left on the download. Then it has to install. This is going to take a while. It has to download you can see here, 15 gigs. It's downloading the entire installer. If you were updating like a regular Mac, an M1 Mac, or M4 or whatever, it would just be an incremental update. But whenever you're updating Opencore Legacy Patcher, it has to update the entire installer, Mac OS install, the whole 15 gigs. It's reinstalling the OS. And the issue with that is if you're doing it on your Wi-Fi, it's going to take a really long time to download 15 gigs. And that's why it's much better to do it connected directly to your router with an Ethernet cable. And of course, what we need to check after all this is, does the Bluetooth work and does the Wi-Fi work? And with the Mac Pro 6,1, I don't think I've ever had an issue with the Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi. But with the Mac Pro 5,1, I have, because it's got an upgraded Wi-Fi Bluetooth card. If you've seen my video on how to do that, you got to go way back in my library of videos. I show you how to install one of those cards, and it is a pain. It's not fun. But once you get it working, you get handoff, you get those things that you wouldn't get. You got AirDrop, all those things work, which is cool. And I'm just going to fast forward. The KDK package is going to finish downloading before Mac OS gets finished, and then the computer will reboot into the installer. And we're finally going to reboot. Man, that's taken a long time. Okay, we're in our first reboot. See how many it does. And interestingly, it just booted. It did not boot into the installer right away, but then it rebooted, and now it's booting into the installer. And we're going to speed this up. And now we're booting into the Macintosh HD, no longer the installer. And I have sped this way up. It took quite some time to get through this. And she's rebooting again. And this next reboot took like 10 minutes. I don't know how long the one before this took, but it also took quite a while. So we're going to pick our Macintosh HD yet again and let it do its thing. And this should be the last reboot. And we're just through the final stage here, but man, this took a while. So software update is now telling us that it's going to turn on all future updates to automatically install. And you do not want that when you're running Opencore, because if it installs before you get the latest version of Opencore running, you could just be locked out of your Mac and have to install everything from scratch. So we're going to go into System Settings and turn off all the automatic updates. Welcome to Mac. We're in. Looks kind of funny because our KDK is not installed yet. And there we are, the white screen. And there we are again. Opencore Legacy Patcher pops up. Mac OS wipes all root patches during the OS install and updates. Following patches have been detected on your system. Okay. Downloading KDK. Now when it says that, it's actually already downloaded the KDK. Thanks to Mr. Macintosh, who is the authority on Opencore Legacy Patcher. He's sort of taken the ball and really run with it, and he knows what the hell he's doing. I gotta say, his videos they cover everything, and he knows what he's talking about. He's well connected with the programmers of Opencore Legacy Patcher. See, it's pulling the KDK, no direct match found, falling back to the closest match, KDK already installed, skipping, verifying, pulling KDK, list from the support API, no direct match found, falling back to the closest match, KDK already installed, skipping, found KDK in the library, merging KDK. What is going on? Looks like it's doing what it needs to do. You just got to be patient. Takes a little bit of time. And oh yeah, the old girl is putting out some heat. But you know, I've had this Mac Pro for probably almost a year now. Not really sure. Bought it for $300. Was a 8-core? Yeah, 8-core. Reboot. And this should be the end of our install. Yeah, I got an 8-core with D500s. So this black white screen nonsense will go away because now our graphics will be working. There we are. And we'll try and boot into Windows once it's done. See if everything's still working over there, just for fun. And there we go. We are back to our regular graphics. Our Wi-Fi automatically turns back on. Let's check Chrome, because Chrome is an issue. Acting funny. Okay, it's working. Looks good. Looks the way it should. Web store, yeah, pretty perky. All right, Chrome is working, but let's check that. I'm going to unplug the Ethernet cable, and we just saw that our internet went down, but now it's back. Our Wi-Fi is working. Let's just look at Bluetooth, because I don't have any Bluetooth stuff connected at the moment. Yep. Bluetooth is good. All right, folks, that is computer number 1 is updated. You know, what works with it and what doesn't, it all seems good on the basic stuff, right? Our widgets are working, our web browsers are working, our Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is working. Oh, very important. We're going to go to System Settings, General, Software Update, Automatic Updates, Beta Updates. Your Mac is up to date. You got to turn all this stuff off. It's very important because if your Mac updates without Opencore Legacy Patcher updating, you do not want that on. Install application updates from the App Store. I don't want any of that on. So let's boot into Windows, just see if everything is good there. And what's nice about Opencore Legacy Patcher is you can just pick which system you're going to boot into without switching it in the system preferences. Okay, we'll go over to Windows. And honestly, nothing should really change there. Check out my method of installing Windows using Windows Install, an app that allows you to install Windows right from Mac OS. Makes it super easy, especially on the 6,1. Yeah, we're in. That's pretty cool. All right. Windows is working for the general stuff. Not going to test everything else out on this, but, you know, nothing should have changed. It's basically the same system I was running before. It hasn't updated. So we're done with the Mac Pro 6,1. Now we're going to move on to the Mac Pro 5,1. Okay, booting up into the old 5,1. What are we running on the old girl? 15.3. Okay, so big update. Opencore Legacy Patcher, once it's done booting up, should kick up and tell us, yep, there it is. So we're just going to do the same old thing. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off. Did I connect that Ethernet? I don't think I did. Download and install. Let's see if I still have internet. Yeah, it's still working. All right. Whoa, that was fast. And Opencore is showing the current version I'm on, 2.2.0, and now we're at the updater for 2.3.2. Would you like to update? Yes. And you know, it's always good to wait and let the dust settle and make sure that everything is working on the computer you're using Opencore on. There's no reason to rush to the latest update, especially when you're doing a Mac OS update. Check with Mr. Macintosh and make sure that everything is good to go. And we just rebuilt Opencore and we're going to install to disk. First it downloads the app, then it rebuilds Opencore, and then you install it to your EFI. And you can see each hard drive has an EFI, and the blue highlighted disk is the one that Opencore is currently installed on. So we're going to click on that, and then it also shows you which EFI has the Opencore installed on it, which is the same drive, but it just, you know, it's nice that they do that. So you don't have to wonder, gee, I wonder which drive has Opencore on it. It's the one that's highlighted in blue. So now that Opencore has installed to disk, we're going to update our root patches as well. And we'll have to do the root patches again after we update Mac OS and boot into it. Start root patching. KDK already installed. Basically, it's going to do exactly what it did on the Mac Pro 6,1. And I have an RX 580 in my Mac Pro 5,1. And it's important to know that your GPU is compatible with the latest version of Opencore Legacy Patcher. And we'll just whiz through the rest of this root patching. Okay, we're going to reboot. But we're downloading the KDK. That happens sometimes. Sometimes that happens. It just downloads the KDK in the middle of you needing to go and reboot. I'm not sure why that happened, but we're just going to move forward. And we are booting back into Sequoia. We haven't updated Mac OS yet. We just updated Opencore Legacy Patcher. And as you can see, I got a Monterey drive in there as well, which is a good thing to have, and actually a must to have a backup Mojave drive on hand in case something goes wrong with Opencore Legacy Patcher. It's good to have a native Mac OS that you can still boot into. And Opencore Legacy Patcher no longer supports booting into Mojave, but you can use Mojave to reinstall Opencore from scratch. Now, I did have a glitch on the reboot from installing Opencore, and the computer locked up, and I rebooted again, and then I got back in. So these things happen. Okay, a little bit of a bumpy road at first, but it looks like we're getting there. So we're downloading 15.4.1, and while that's happening, the KDK notification came up, and we're downloading the KDK build as well, which will get installed after we reboot into the new version of Mac OS, and then we will redo our patches with the KDK and reboot one last time. And we'll just blaze through the download and preparing of Mac OS. And the initial login takes quite a bit of time, but we finally got there, and now we're going to have the white screen because the KDK package is not installed yet. And once we're finally logged in here, it takes some time. Here we are at the white screen. Opencore is going to send us that message that we need to install the KDK package. So we're going to hit OK, and it's going to install the KDK. It's already downloaded it. It says it's downloading it, but it's actually installing it. And then we'll have to install our root patches one more time, reboot, and we should be good to go. And we'll just speed this up. And it actually starts doing the root patching for you. And we'll whiz through this. And we finally get to reboot. And we'll fast forward through the reboot. And this took about an hour per computer. It's a lengthy process. And we're in, and our graphics are looking like they should. So now we're just going to change the software update settings so that it's not set to automatically download new updates. This is very important for anybody running Opencore. You want to make sure you turn all of these off. Wi-Fi's on. Okay. So we got Wi-Fi. Okay, our Bluetooth is working, folks. So Wi-Fi works, Bluetooth works. You know, that's been an issue with the upgraded Bluetooth Wi-Fi card, but ever since I did my little patch with, which I have a video on, it fixed the problem. But yeah, everything's working. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Ethernet. The old Mac Pro just keeps on ticking. All right, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me that thumbs up. It helps. I hit 30,000 subscribers as of like yesterday. Very cool. I really appreciate all of your support. Of course, I did a lot of Opencore videos back in the day when it was Martin Lowe's Opencore. I was really early on the Opencore front. But then these other YouTubers came in and just, you know, ran with the ball. Mr. Macintosh, he is excellent. Jesse's Flying, it's another good one. I just couldn't keep up because I had to work. I couldn't just do YouTube videos about Opencore all the time. But I did do a lot, and I was the first. Maybe. But definitely before those guys popped into the scene. But I think Mr. Macintosh has been, you know, he works with the developers on this. He does testing for them. He's very connected with them. He knows every little inch of what's going on with this stuff. So I highly recommend his channel. And yeah, that's it. How many more Opencore videos I'm going to do, I don't really know. I've kind of moved on to Apple Silicon, and I got my old Mac Pro 7,1. That could become an Opencore computer, maybe. I don't know. But right now, it's still running the latest version of Sequoia. So no issue there, no need for Opencore. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next Mac Sound Solutions video.